Hello, my name is Sophia, and welcome to my channel where I talk about psychology. I talk about being raised in a dysfunctional family, in an alcoholic home, and where I give you practical self-help tools, as I will do in this video. So today's video is dedicated to the emotional freedom technique, EFT, otherwise known as tapping. EFT comes from the Chinese medicine traditions, and it fuses acupressure with modern psychology, cognitive psychology. And the way that EFT works is we are going to be tapping on our meridians in order to allow for our energy to move through our body for the release of negative emotions. And at the same time, we are going to be practicing exposure therapy, naming our emotions, owning our emotions, and also reframing them. So EFT seems very simple, and yet clinical studies show that it's highly effective. It is even used for war veterans who have post-traumatic stress disorder in order to relieve their symptoms, and it's shown to be highly effective. As a matter of fact, there are studies that took people's blood half an hour before the practice of EFT and after the practice, and it showed that their cortisol levels reduced significantly. And of course, cortisol is the stress hormone that is also shown to have very negative influence on our psychological and mental health. And even one traumatic episode can spike cortisol levels significantly. And so with this EFT practice that really works to reduce symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, just relieve negative emotions, relieve stress. By practicing this, you are going to set yourself up for a healthier and happier life. So the emotional freedom technique, we are going to follow the following meridian points. So we are going to start on our hand. We're tapping right here, okay? And if you like symmetry, you can do it on both hands. I usually do it on one side or the other. Then we continue tapping at the edge of our eyebrows here, beginning of our eyebrows. Then at the side of our eyes right here, under the eyes, under the nose, under the upper lip and our chin area, then a little bit below our collarbones, and about 4 inches down from your armpit, and then top of the head. And so you don't have to get these points perfect. You can experience with your own body, with your own meridians, and see what feels good. Usually when you come across a point that feels good, you're going to know this is for you. And the more you practice, the more individualized you can get with it and really know what is going to help you release your stress. So that is the tapping meridian part of it. Now we are going to say words that go along with the tapping. And so what we want to do is we want to first acknowledge the emotion that we are experiencing. Then we want to be able to tell ourselves that we accept ourselves no matter what the emotion is, and move on to self-compassion and self-kindness to complete the exercise. So before you start the EFT circuit, and we're going to go through the circuit together, you want to name your emotion on a scale, you want to place your emotion on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's say you want to tap out anger. You feel like you're experiencing anger, like you're experiencing rage, and it's feeling like it's a bit too much for you, okay? So on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your anger? Let's say it's an 8. And so let's go with anger. I am feeling very angry right now. So we're acknowledging our emotion. My anger feels like it's overwhelming me. It makes me feel as if my stomach is turning and I can't think straight. But no matter what, I'm going to choose to love and accept myself. I'm going to choose to honor my emotion of anger because I know that it's giving me wisdom. And despite the emotion of anger that I'm experiencing, I'm going to choose to love and respect myself no matter what. Right here, right now, I know that I'm safe. And I know that I have myself to be with. And I will choose to love and accept myself despite any negative emotion that looms over me. Now take a deep breath in and out. And where is your anger now on a scale of 1 to 10? Now let's say that it only dropped to a 5. Now we can go through this routine again, okay? So once again, we have our meridian points and we want to tap. I usually do about 7, 8 times. I don't count. I more focus on what's going on inside of me. And you can individualize and alter what you want to say to yourself. You definitely want to make sure that you acknowledge the emotion that you're experiencing, possibly move through how that emotion might be feeling in your body or what it's making you do. You know, maybe it's making you want to call someone in anger and chew them out, or maybe it makes you maybe you're unable to focus on work or unable to focus on your activities. So you want to name the difficulty that this emotion is bringing to you. Then you want to move on to telling yourself that you accept yourself and love yourself no matter what. And then take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and name it. Name the emotion on a scale of 1 to 10. So when do you want to use the emotional freedom technique? You can actually do it at any time. Sometimes you can just go through the circuit if you want to calm down, not even particularly work on an emotion. You definitely want to work through the negative emotions that you're experiencing, particularly when they are overwhelming you, when you really feel that anxiety and that stress. Now, sometimes people want to, tap out anxiety, right? So I would ask them, what are you experiencing right now? Anxiety or depression? And that's perfectly fine. We can work on anxiety. So I am feeling very anxious right now. This anxiety makes me feel that my thoughts are racing and I can't concentrate. I have been dealing with my anxiety for a long time. But no matter what, I choose to love and accept myself. I know that right here, right now, I am safe. And my anxiety will dissipate with this routine. I will choose to honor my feelings and I will choose to be with myself and love myself no matter what. My anxiety feels very overwhelming, but I know that it's here to teach me something. And no matter what, I choose to love and accept myself. Breathe in, breathe out. Yeah. So you can go through this routine for anxiety, for depression. However, if you notice yourself stating that you're feeling anxious or depressed frequently, it's also a really good idea to see what is underneath the anxiety or the depression, to name an emotion. Is it shame? Is it envy? Is it anger? Is it jealousy? Is it sadness? So the emotion that is underneath the anger and the anxiety. Why this is important is because it's going to help you connect with that particular emotion. Now, sometimes you might be experiencing something and the words out there that are used to express that emotion, you just can't connect with them. So it's your own individual feeling, it's your own individual experience, and I encourage you to create your own name for it. Or maybe name a physical sensation. It's making me feel icky. I feel like I have a dark cloud over my head. So your own particular experience, I feel like I have worms in my stomach. Your own particular experience, and that you cannot attach to an emotion or a name of the emotion. So that is wonderful as well. If you can't connect to a word used to describe it, make up your own word, describe your physical sensations, describe how it's making you feel, what it's making you do, and then choose to be present with yourself, to love and accept yourself no matter what, and keep going through that circuit until your emotions significantly reduce. So I hope that you enjoy this technique and practice it constantly. This technique really, really, really works, but it only works if you practice it. Now, you went through the circuit of the EFT technique, watch this video, maybe you had an interest in it already. You might say, wow, this really works. This is so amazing. I don't know, there's EFT practitioners out there who you can practice with that will charge you an hourly rate. There's therapists. I know I use this with my clients in sessions sometimes, and I definitely teach this skill to my clients. You might say, wow, what I can just keep doing this on my own and feel amazing. Yes, you can. Now, why would you go to a practitioner and work with someone that practices EFT, or maybe work with me? Now, sometimes when you're going through the circuit, things might resurface. So you might be able to tap out the first emotion or the experience that comes to you, and then underneath it, you'll see that it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. Sometimes even memories might arise. And this is a very good thing, because it's telling your brain that it is safe to reflect and to see things, and maybe to allow your body to open up with, more feelings, more emotions, and even memories. And so when that occurs, it's very useful to get some support around it and to go deeper into the emotions and to go deeper into resolving the feelings, because the more specific you can get on what you're experiencing and how it's affecting you, the better. And with that said, the next point where it's really important to work with a practitioner is if you notice yourself very frequently saying, anxiety, depression, and not really being able to go underneath the emotion of that anxiety and depression. It's really important for you to also work with a therapist, work with a practitioner, in order to be able to connect with your body and to be able to connect with the actual emotion and the experience that is arising, the anxiety and the depression in you. Because what anxiety is frequently exactly the denial of emotions. It's the denial of the experience, and it just becomes so much that we begin to invent narratives to explain what might be going on in us, and those narratives might not be accurate. And that's when we get into the ruminating thoughts, and we get into the too much thinking, and the stress and the shakiness, and that kind of unpleasant sensations that come along with anxiety. Is precisely that. It's the non-connection to the emotions, trying to move the emotions away, trying to think your way through things. That is how anxiety is generated. So it's great to do the exercise, just if that's what you're experiencing, anxiety, and also going deeper. What is the emotions underneath anxiety? What are the repressed emotions that have given you the anxiety or the depression? And depression is usually anger turned against self. Misplaced anger turned against the self. And a practitioner can help you, really see that emotional experience, be able to work through it. And that way your tapping is going to get even more powerful when you can name a particular set of emotions or a particular emotion. And remember, you can experience several things at the same time. So you can have several emotions that you're experiencing to work on with this emotional freedom technique. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. And I hope to see you in my upcoming videos. Thank you and have a blessed day.